Folks, I used to hate cauliflower. I used to hate it. That's not me anymore.
Yeah. We're making stir fry tonight. This isn't like your traditional stir fry with the soy sauce and all that. This is a little bit of a different one because we don't like soy sauce. We'll call it Southern stir fry. There's already a cowboy stir fry and it uses smoked sausages and potatoes, so we can't call it that. Southern stir fry. We've got some chicken tenders that we're gonna be using for this. The thing that's gonna take the longest is chopping up all the vegetables.
Chicken tenders. I eat chicken tenders, they're really good.
I'm practicing my cloudiums.
Your cloud M's?
Yeah. Oh, that one looks better.
Why is it called a cloud M?
Because it looks like a yum and it's in a cloud.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. That is a cloud M. I have a little race car Band-Aid on. I only, most of the time, have kid Band-Aids around here.
And she cut her finger.
I broke a glass.
Oh, yeah. She put it in the trash can. She
Yes.
forgot.
I did the safe thing, and I wrapped that broken glass up in several bags, you know, so that it wouldn't bust through that bag. But the trash was overflowing, and I forgot that I had put that in there. And when I went in there, I went to push down the trash so that I could change it, and I pushed my finger, actually both this one and this one, right down on that broken glass, and it went through the bags and got my fingers. Anyway, yeah, that's why the race car Band-Aid.
You see, I didn't know how it happened, so I asked her, how'd you get cut? And she told me.
Man, I'm making a mess with this cauliflower. Okay, now we'll slice the squash. Squash is one of my favorite things to slice.
How soft they are.
And the fun thing about any kind of stir fry is you can just use whatever you got on hand or whatever you want to put in it. Okay, now the carrots, I'm just going to cut these in half, I think. Instead of chopping them into little bitty pieces, we'll just cut them in half. I got Titus this cutting board for Christmas, but I've used it way more than he has. It's become my favorite one. Alright, so now we're also going to put some cabbage in ours, so let me wash this cabbage and then we'll chop some of it up. This is a huge head of cabbage too. I'm gonna save the rest of this because like I said, this is a huge head of cabbage. We'll just chop up this bit for the stir fry. And I'm gonna leave it kind of big. Okay. Now the last thing we're going to do is mince some garlic, but I'm not going to add it to this bowl because we'll do it a little later than the rest of the vegetables. We just need 2 cloves. And now for these, I'm going to bring out my little mat because I'm about to slice the chicken up too. And I don't want my board to be smelling much like garlic, so we'll do these on this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't want his cutting board that I use to smell like garlic. Of course, you can get it off. It's just, you know, sometimes takes a little time to wear off no matter what you do. Okay, we're melting some coconut oil in here. We're gonna cook the vegetables first, and then we'll take these out, saute the garlic, and then we'll add the chicken in. Okay, we've got this much of the vegetables in here. We're probably gonna have to do separate pans because we have a lot going on right there. I'm gonna put this top on here.
How many vegetables are in there? There's a little crevice hole right here.
There's a lot in there, huh? Okay, we're gonna let that start cooking. We'll just get our other pan and start the other vegetables. I might even transfer some of those over here too. Yeah, let's see. We'll transfer some of this over here.
Oh, it's hard. Not that. Oh, Mama.
We're gonna cook these until it all cooks down. This lid, you know, anyway. It's not exact. I think it goes to this pan actually. Yeah, it goes to this one.
Hey,
We'll take turns.
we'll have some leftovers for tomorrow so we can have salad.
Oh yeah, we might have leftovers for sure. We got a lot here, huh? I'm gonna put some butter in here too, and some salt and pepper.
Big enough?
We already have the chicken cut up and ready. So once the vegetables get done, we'll just put them back in that big bowl while we cook the chicken, and then we'll add everything together. Isn't that pretty with all that yellow squash and carrots? I think we'll put a little bit of garlic powder. I am going to be sauteing that fresh garlic too here in a little bit. We'll just kind of make up our own little seasonings here. Just a dash of cayenne. Okay, we'll just let all this keep cooking until it's all tender. Then we'll start the chicken. The first pan is ready. Everything is nice and tender. So I'm just going to dump it all back into this bowl over here. So we've got that in there. We're going to put some more coconut oil in here. And I'm going to put some butter for the chicken. We're going to put our garlic in here first. And turn it back up a little bit. And same thing with the chicken. We'll put salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of cayenne. I've got some smoked paprika, but I don't really want to go smoked. Let me smell of this curry powder. Do we want to do a little curry powder? Nah, I don't think we'll go curry powder. Maybe just a little chili lime seasoning. That's it. We just cook this until the chicken's done. I still have a little bit of leftover rice that I still had left over after I made the rice pudding last night. So if the kids want some rice to go with theirs. I taste tested a piece of the squash. That's good, y'all. I'm calling it Southern Stir Fry.
Southern stir fry. It's really good. I'm telling you, good. We're having to make ourselves stop eating this.
Yeah, it's really good.
Here I am talking y'all with 2 pieces of chicken. That is good.
Y'all know that I think it's Voila. I used to love it. We used to buy it all the time. Garlic chicken. It was like pasta and chicken and vegetables in the freezer department. That's what this reminds me of, just without the pasta. It's really good.
It's great, y'all. We are percolating.
A lot of y'all have been asking where we got this from. We got it from one of the antique slash thrift. I always say antique slash thrift store.
Great.
Because they're not, I don't know if we've ever been to like just specifically this is only antiques. They're all.
Ours is more like a thrift shop.
Yeah, now there are antiques in there, but there's also thrift stuff and crafts that people do. Like homemade soaps, homemade candles, lots of stuff like that. Anyway, this one was one of the antique or vintage things in there. And I can't remember exactly which one we got it from. I think it was one of the ones we went to just the other day, that we took y'all with us to just the other day. But I've seen them in a lot of antique stores. So we saw one just the other day that is bigger than this one. One of y'all said you're looking for like a bigger, holds more cups. This one is this one is a 6 cup. Now the one we saw the other day at that 3-story antique store, I'm pretty sure it was probably a 10 cup, wasn't it?
It might have been.
This is 6, and it was a lot bigger than this. I would think it was at least a 10 cup.
We love coffee, everybody.
And the prices on them just vary depending on
the price is right.
what those people want to charge for it. If I remember right, this one was around $20-something. When I got this one, I've actually been looking for a clear one, because Aunt B on the Andy Griffith Show in the later color episodes, she had a clear percolator. You remember it? It's clear on the bottom, and the top was clear. I think there was still a metal piece like this on the top of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the one we got right here, this is what we like about ours.
Keeps it hot. It keeps it hot for probably about 45 minutes
It does.
before you have to reheat it. But anyway, yeah, I was looking for a clear one. Never could find a clear one, so when I found this one, I got it. And I have a few other matching sets of this is the Corningware brand. And I have
we do take
other.
we take this out.
Yeah, we showed y'all that the other morning.
For anybody that's wondering, when she says we reheat it, it don't cycle back through.
No,
these.
yeah. When we just warm it up, it's just this with the coffee.
And it actually tastes better.
Yeah.
Then this right here will clean easier than a French press. It's easier to deal with, ain't it, sweetie?
It's about the same to me. I mean, it's about the same.
Folks, it's about the same.
Yeah, because you still
it's not any easier. If anybody's wondering out there, you're like, Thomas, what about, is it easier than a French press? I would say no. I'd say it's probably about the same. I'd say you're probably looking at about the same kind of deal. You know what I mean?
You still have to clean all of this part, you know, and just like with the French press, and you just.
But let me tell y'all, being that I've had to clean that French press a few times, let me tell you what I have noticed. For anybody out there that's like, Thomas, what do you see the difference in French press cleaning versus cleaning the percolator? My difference is, you just take this right out and you're done with all this. Not with the French press. You gotta go over there and rinse that thing, shake it around a few times and dump it. And if all the grails don't come out, you rinse it again and shake it and dump it. And this is, in my opinion, but again, you know what, we're gonna stick with Fallon's, what she said. It's about the same. You're looking at it, aggravate and clean up both ways, folks. Just about the same deal. Yeah. That's where we're gonna stick right there.
My favorite part of that food, I think, the squash and the cabbage. Like if I just had all that squash and cabbage cooked up.
Folks, that gave me energy.
Yeah, that was good.
It gave me a good feeling.
Let's get the dishes done.